Hello and welcome to the Positionless podcast. Today we got a lot to talk about, but let's start off with a great Game 3 that we just watched last night.
Fuck yeah,
Knicks
dude.
Pacers.
Knicks. What the fuck were you
What am I
watching?
talking about? Thunder Pacers.
Hell yeah, though. That shit was a fantastic game, bro. Shout out Ben Matherman and TJ McConnell.
Yeah,
I want to shout those guys out first, bro.
straight up.
I was this close to texting you. Mathurin about to have a huge fourth, and he came out and hit those two buckets. I didn't text you that, but I was this close. But I was like, nah, he's watching the
You
game.
didn't
He
text
knows
me. You
what's up.
said Matherin's cooking.
I texted you that right after he hit those two shots in the beginning of the fourth.
Yeah,
I mean, Pacers are 20-1 now, and Hallie puts up 20-10 though, and he almost had another huge triple double last night.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I think it was like 9 rebounds. He was 1 rebound away, but 20-1 when your best player scores 20-10 is kind of ridiculous. I think it speaks to the fact that when Hallie's aggressive, and I texted you like midway through the game, I was like, he needs to be more aggressive, even though he put up like 13 points in the first half. I thought there were a lot of chances he could have got to the rim or put up a floater that he didn't. Still, even though he was a lot more aggressive last night than usual.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Pacers is 20-1 when Hallie scores over 20. I didn't know that.
20-10. 20 points, 10 assists.
Okay, but
Which the 10 assists is usually easy for him.
it's
Like,
coming with Tyrese Halliburton either way. But the thing with the Pacers, they just have so many guys that can put up these games that can help them win. Earlier,
Yeah.
it was the Nemhard game.
yep.
Now it's a TJ McConnell, Benedict
Even
Mathurin game.
Game 1, Opie Toppin hitting 5 threes, 2 of those coming in the fourth. That's an Opie fucking Toppin game. He was their second leading scorer in that game 1.
And he's making these plays. Like, he's just been so consistent.
Dude. There were a few plays in transition last night. I mean, he gets the ball in transition. He goes at the fucking hoop looking like LeBron James and scoops a little pass off to Ben Mathurin for an easy lay. And it's like, Obi Toppin, you got to do this at all times, bro. He's had a great series, though.
Yeah, everybody on that team knows their role. What a great coach team.
I mean, their bench in general, TJ McConnell, man, 10 points, 5 assists, 5 steals. 3 of those steals coming from inbound plays off of a made bucket.
Yeah, there was
And
that.
an immediate bucket again.
There was that, what was it, like a 5 to 10 minute stretch in the second quarter where TJ McConnell was the best player on the floor.
He came in with an energy that was just like, I don't know how to describe it.
He
Like
said, I'm going to do my thing. Y'all can't do anything about it. I'm
he was
TJ
fired
McConnell.
up, bro. He was fired up. He was getting the crowd fucking fired up. Loudest
I was getting fired up. I'm not even a
loudest
Pacers
10-point
fan, but
performance in the NBA Finals ever, I'd say.
yeah.
Just out there fucking letting his nuts hang, bro. Like, TJ fucking McConnell, though. I mean, he was making a lot of good passes as well. Bro was hitting his classic fucking midi. And
Drive the baseline, come back around, either pass it out or hit the midi.
I forgot. I think that's a Nash thing. I think Nash started doing that. Where, you'd circle around and shit. But
Yeah, it was just great hoops watching him play.
for real, though. I mean, Pascal as well came out cooking early. And he kept them from getting out of hand in the first quarter. I think he scored like their first 8 points.
Yep.
Getting mismatches with Shea on him and just getting to his mid-range shots, his little turnaround phase that he likes to do. And he played fantastic defense down the stretch as well. He was getting a lot of blocks. Miles Turner finished the game with 5 blocks with some of the best defense.
What a great defensive quarter for Miles Turner.
That fourth quarter?
Yeah.
He was locking shit down. Chet, no more, bro. You put up, 17 points early in that game in the first half, I think. He put up 17, and he said no more in that fourth, man.
Yeah. No easy buckets.
And
No
I
easy
think
buckets.
Chet did play a good game for the most part, especially early. J-Dub played very well, I think, as well. I think he was one of the few guys that could even buy a bucket for them down the stretch with a few tough layups. But no, Pacers, man, just fantastic team basketball. Ben Mathurin finished with 27 points in 22 minutes. I know at the end of the third, before the fourth quarter, he had 20 points in 20 minutes, missing only 2 shots.
It's insane.
And to get that production from a guy off your bench is just unfair. When the Thunder could barely get anything going off that bench, like the
There was a
Minnesota.
point in time where it was 19 points off the bench for the Pacers and 0 for the Thunder.
Damn, I think it ended up being like 40-18, some shit like that.
Yeah.
But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander needs to do more in that fourth quarter.
I mean, that's the thing with this Thunder team. They've got Shea, they got J-Dub, but after those two, they don't really have a guy that can go out there and create for themselves.
Not really
Chet's
at all.
not that guy yet.
Case and Wallace can't really do that.
Case and Wallace, no.
I think Caruso made a few bad plays last night, as well as he does play all the time.
Uncharacteristic plays.
A few of those were the T.J. McConnell inbound steals, where he's trying to push the ball down the floor.
Yep.
Because Pacers, they're playing up.
They don't want to go against that side defense. They're trying to get out in transition even after a made basket.
Yeah.
But T.J. McConnell didn't let that shit slide.
I want to mention something that I noticed last night that we had a large argument about at one time, bro. Lou Dort might be fucking dirty, bro.
Hey, you finally coming around?
There was like a 4-play stretch where just like anybody that came in Lou Dort's direction ended up on the ground. I felt like he was trying to get an offensive rebound and like threw fucking Nemhard to the ground, and then the next possession when the Pacers took it down,
just not basketball players.
well, no, and then he hit like Tyrese in the face after a fucking pump fake 3 or some shit. I don't remember exactly what happened. I just remember an elbow fucking came in Hallie's direction, hit him in the face, left him on the floor, and
He's a little dirty.
he's a little bit dirty. He also knows how to get some cheesy fouls sometimes where Andrew Nemhard was like, he passed it off, a little handoff to someone, and they were in the corner, and he kind of was like running in a direction. It looked like it could have been a moving screen, but I swear I saw Lou Dort like grab him and fall backwards. So
Probably
it looked
that's
like
the type
Nemhard
of shit
just
that Lou
bodied
Dort
him.
does.
Which is, it's kind of smart, but it's a little bit like, bro, just play
It's like
ball.
some of that Chris Paul shit. He probably learned it from Chris Paul, to be honest, when he's on the team with him.
He probably did, honestly. But
Speaking of dirty plays, I forget who fouled. I believe it was Caruso going for the layup in transition. It was a hard foul from behind. They looked at it for a flagrant
I remember he had his
foul.
hands up and came down on Caruso.
It was probably Neesmith. I think it was.
I think it was
Neesmith.
Neesmith.
I agreed with the not flagrant call. It's the playoffs. Let him foul them hard. Don't let him get an easy layup. But I did see that as a big discussion, saying it should have been a flagrant foul.
I didn't think it was a flagrant, to be
Okay.
honest.
I just wanted to get your opinion because
I
I
mean,
agree with you.
They
But
were
I was
talking
watching it
about
in real
on
time.
the yeah, me too. They were talking about on the broadcast at the time what constitutes a flagrant foul, and I guess there has to be wind up. I don't think putting your hands up and coming down is wind up,
No.
but I think it was not Reggie Miller, but Richard Jefferson on the broadcast saying, I think putting your hand up like that is the wind up, but all the time we see hard fouls just to stop an easy bucket.
Yeah.
That's all I think it was. It was a basketball play. Definitely not dirty in my opinion at all, or flagrant.
And then another question I have for you. Do you think Mark Daignault should consider changing that starting lineup again?
Back
Because
to the double big?
what is Case and Wallace really out there for?
I mean, they're matching the Pacers lineup, like size-wise type shit.
Yeah.
And it's also,
But you also have
they wanted
Case and
him to
Wallace
guard
and Pascal
like
Siakam.
Pascal, yeah. I think the thought behind that is, I don't know, to be honest, actually, because Pascal's going to work him down low basically every single time. And then that's too easy for him.
it's not like anybody on
Casey
that
Wallace is a strong body. though.
Pacers team that you can double off of. You can't do it
Yeah.
off Nemhard. They've already tried.
They have tried, and he's punished them in the corner.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why not start Chet and Ihart together?
I agree.
Put him
That's
on-
what they did most.
It would
of the
make it
season,
way
but-
tougher than for Pascal if you put a guy like Chet on him. You wouldn't have to double it and rotate. Just play one-on-one, and I think he's shooting probably 50% and under.
I don't know, man. No, Pascal's a lot.
Pascal's
faster
great,
than
but,
him.
I mean, Chet's got the length.
He does. And I don't think Miles Turner's doing anything to iHeart, so for the most part. But you also got to remember they stretch the floor, bro. Like it's hard to play double big against the Pacers. Everybody on the floor can shoot. And if you're playing double big and they
You don't think
if they're
Chet
playing-
can match up with Pascal?
it's not about that, but Miles Turner can shoot too. If they get you in a situation where you're rotating, it's going to be hard to catch up.
That's true.
it's going to be real hard to catch up because a lot of those guys on the Pacers are faster, just simply faster than the fucking OKC guys. So if they got you in a situation where they can get a step on you and get to the rim, you don't want that, bro.
It's true, but the lineup they have out now is forcing them to rotate when they get a guy like Pascal matched up with Kaysen
For
in
sure,
the
but
post.
I mean, as good as iHeart is, I don't know if he can catch up with those guys, bro.
What do you mean catch up?
Like, if iHeart's fucking switched onto a
Yeah,
guard,
he's not the
like,
ideal guy.
he's not the ideal guy. Chet probably is. I mean, J Dub can switch, Lou Dort can switch, Case and Walls can switch. They want to switch,
If
which
anything,
is
yeah.
how Pascal ended up 3 possessions in a row, switched on to switched on to Shea, easy
Yeah.
bucket
Yeah, they made Shea work
for real.
this game.
And I mean, Shea has played damn near perfectly up to this point. Game 2 put up, 37, 38. Game 1 put up 34. Still lost, but you couldn't have asked him to do much more. They definitely made it hard for Shea in Game 3. They were coming at him with a bunch of different looks, early help, late help.
They're playing very high up on the ball screen, which
Blitzing
forced him to
him.
make a decision.
Yeah,
Led to a lot of turnovers. I think he had more turnovers than
I
assists.
think he had maybe 4 or 5 turnovers. I think one of the biggest knocks on Shea is he doesn't get some of his guys easy buckets. Like, I think Chet was making him a lot of his own shots. I think he missed like 6 threes as well.
Yeah, 0 for 6.
He was shooting well in the first few quarters, though, from inside, making his own buckets, like making his own shot type shit.
Yeah, it's like Shea. He's going to get his guys open by forcing a double team.
Yeah.
And he's going to kick it to him. That's really about it.
I think the Pacers, they are double teaming or sending help at least. But the rotations have been really good, and they're making it uncomfortable for Shea and OKC's offense in general. At least in Game 3, I think they did. But Tyrese Halliburton, man, we haven't talked about Game 1 on the pod yet, so
Oh, yeah.
we got to talk about this dude, bro. In
We haven't
every
talked about Game 1 yet.
single series, this man has hit a shot against the Bucks. It was 118 to 111 with 34 seconds left. Hallie scored the motherfucking game-winning bucket to win 119-118. Against the Cavs, they were down 119 to 112 with 48 seconds left. Won 120-119, and Hallie got the fucking game winner. Like, against the Knicks, they were down 121 to 112 with 50 seconds left. Sent it to overtime, and they won 138-135. And Halliburton sent it to overtime, I might add. And then the fucking game winner, Game 1 of the finals, bro. That shit had us on our feet. We
Yeah.
were watching it together. We said all game long, the Pacers are staying in striking range.
How are they still in this game? They got 20 turnovers at halftime. Like,
19 turnovers at half, 25 in total in that game, and you still win on a game-winning buzzer beater. I mean, they couldn't get stops all game long, and then it comes down to 8 minutes, and they can get every stop in the world.
the Pacers' ability to win these games when you know they've been losing all game, they shouldn't win this game. And somehow, some way, the ball ends up in Tyrese Halliburton's hands
With
in the
1
final
second
seconds.
left, yeah.
And he's not missing it.
I mean,
if you've watched any of these playoffs so far.
they were down 15 points with just under 10 minutes left to go. And it was like that all game long.
Yep.
Felt like they were down 15 all game long. There were times where they brought it within single digits, and they couldn't do anything about it. I mean, how many times did we say if the Pacers come back in this goddamn game, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
What really made it real for me, like, I know they were coming back, they were getting on a run in that fourth quarter, but it was the fucking Nemhard step back 3 to cut it within 3 with 2 minutes left.
Yeah. That combo he did?
That fucking James Harden-esque step back, dude. I said in the moment, man, you looked away, I swear.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, Nemhard just hit the most, like, crazy fucking step back 3. He just hit a fucking combo, dribbled for no reason, just to
Everybody on that team has confidence.
Yeah.
Him, Neesmith always hits timely threes. Obi Toppin hits threes, makes the putback dunk he had last night. Momentum play. Thomas Bryant, he ain't done shit last game, but every time I see him on the floor, he's making an impact, hitting his threes.
Corner threes.
It's like everybody on the Spacers team knows their role, has confidence in their role, and that's why even though they might not be as talented as the Thunder. They're up 2-1 right now.
Do you think Tyrese Halliburton's pass first mentality gives his guys confidence?
Yeah, I think it's the perfect player to have for this team. One of the deepest teams in the NBA.
Yeah. Speaking on depth, I remember that's something you mentioned before this final series about the Pacers just have so much better depth.
Yeah,
And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, like, does depth really matter in the NBA Finals, bro? Like, Shea's going to play damn near every minute of every game.
that's true.
But, dude, the minutes Shea were not on the court, it was, like, impossible for OKC to score.
Yeah,
It's like 4 minutes here and there. I know they started the fourth without Shea, and that's really when the Pacers kind of put it out of reach. Ben Mathurin getting buckets, and then they brought Hallie back in the fourth before they brought Shea back in, and that's when I really felt like, okay, Pacers got this game. Like, it's still close, but
yeah.
every part of me believed they were going to win that game. I forgot what the final score ended up being, but
116-107.
yeah, I turned it off when J-Dub missed the free throws with like a
Oh, yeah.
minute
When
and
there was a
half
few
left.
minutes left,
I was like, I'm going to bed.
it was cooked.
Yeah.
But that is the difference when Shea's not on the floor. Who's going to step up for the Thunder? When Halliburton was off the floor, they had TJ McConnell bringing the energy,
So much energy. Dude.
running the offense. Benedict Mathurin stepping up, being the aggressive scorer you know he can be. The Thunder just don't have anybody like that. They've got J-Dub.
For sure.
That's it. Aaron Wiggins occasionally will hit 3 threes, like he did in Game 2, something like that. Lou Dort, I mean, he actually shot very well from the floor last game, but you're not worried about Lou Dort. They don't have another guy that can come off that bench and really fill it up like a Benedict Mathurin.
Bro, I just got to mention real quick. Did you see that one shot from Lou Dort that like went outside the camera?
Yes, and he splashed it.
I was like, that's a fucking
He shot it. I'm
moon
like,
shot,
hell
bro.
nah. I remember I said,
That
hell
shit-
nah.
Shit came down like a meteor, bro.
Hey, he's got confidence.
He does. He shouldn't sometimes. Sometimes, like, why are you shooting that, Lou? And then he hits it.
Yeah.
But
Anything else about this game, about this series that...
I mean, game 2, we just haven't really talked about it. Thunder just controlled most of it.
They controlled the whole game.
Yeah, early in the first or later in the first half, they went on that 19-2 run and basically never looked back.
Yeah.
Shea was impossible to stop that game. I don't think you can get a better game in the finals.
Yeah.
Like-
That's his best playmaking game. That was the game, I believe.
I agree. I do got to say that Indiana hasn't lost back-to-back games since mid-March, going 10-0 in that stretch immediately after they lose a game.
Wow.
I think it's going to be fucking tough to put them out now that they're 2-1, man.
2-1, game 4 in Indiana.
But I will say that OKC in the last 2 years in game 4s are 5-0.
Is this the best team they faced in the past 2 years in the playoffs?
Maybe. I mean,
Yes.
talent
The answer
wise,
is yes.
no. Talent wise, no. You got to remember they
I'm
faced
talking about team. This is
Jokic.
basketball, about talent.
Dude,
It's
I
about
get it.
chemistry.
But Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets went up 2-1 just, was it last series or 2 series ago? It was 2 series ago. And Thunder came back, won game 7.
Shea was cheesing them.
And here's another fun
Shea
fact.
was confident.
Here's another fun fact
I
for
haven't
you.
seen Shea smiling.
Since the league shifted to 2-2, 1-1-1
Yeah.
in 2014, lower seeded teams up 2-1 have not won a championship. They've never done it.
That's weird.
It's the facts, though.
But, I doubt that has been a scenario many times.
Since 2014,
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly.
This
But-
might be, the first time or second time.
Maybe, but they haven't won yet, brother.
No, they haven't won yet. They've looked like the better team in my eyes.
Lower seed has gone up twice.
Okay.
Boston Golden State and Cleveland Golden State, 2015 and 2022.
I mean, what do you think? What's your prediction for the rest of the series?
Shit. Of course, next game is a must-win for fucking both teams.
Right.
'Cause if the Pacers can go up 3-1, it's obviously not guaranteed that they'll win it, but I think if they do go up 3-1, they're not going to lose the next time in Indiana.
No.
But there's a real chance that the Thunder just put their fucking foot down and sweep out the rest of the series. Like
You think that's a real chance?
It's a chance.
No.
Like,
What do you mean by put their foot down? Like, you're acting like they're the better team and they're just playing around with them. Like,
no, I don't think so
sure,
at all.
on paper they're the better team.
I mean, we can't deny they have the fucking MVP on their team, bro. Like,
Yeah, they do.
They have the more talented team. The Pacers are playing better, yes. The Pacers play better team basketball right now, yeah. I think it's a real chance either of these guys win. I think there's a better chance the Thunder sweep out the series than the Pacers do.
Yeah.
Like there's no way, there's nothing in my mind that says Pacers win 4-1.
It's gonna be tough to get those non-Halliburton minutes as good as they were in Game 3.
I mean, if TJ fucking McConnell keeps coming out with like a ball of energy and just giving it his all, like,
hey, in Indiana, like next game, I'm sure he'll do that.
oh, for sure. But yeah, in OKC it might be a little tougher.
In OKC, he doesn't have that crowd rallying behind him, screaming TJ, TJ.
That shit gets your blood pumping, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still riding with the Thunder right now. Actually, I really want the Pacers.
I got Pacers in 7.
I want the Pacers to win, but the logical part of me is just like,
Just
Thunder
looking at
better
the
team,
energy
man.
from both teams, like,
It's the finals, bro. They'll bounce back.
they'll bounce back. I'm sure of it. But the Pacers just feel like they want it more. They've had one of the craziest runs in playoff history, from what I've seen at least.
So many
my
fucking
life.
Cinderella shots, too.
I think it's just destined for the Pacers to.
Fuck all that Destiny shit.
They've been, maybe besides the first series, but they've been the underdogs through every series they've been in.
Absolutely.
And when you go against a 68 win team, they ain't no 68 win team. Let's be real.
The Thunder?
Yeah. They're not that good.
Just because they're young?
Just because they're young, and
I mean, the 68
I don't
wins
think their
speak for
team is
itself,
just really
right?
there yet.
You don't think they're a championship team?
Now, obviously, they're a championship team, but they're no like elite.
They're no dynasty, bro.
They're no like elite, way better than everybody else in the league. 68 win team, with the way the game is officiated in the playoffs.
For sure. I mean, they came out, got 2 fouls early, though. Like, the Thunder got called for 2 fouls in the first 2 possessions, but
And the double big lineup that's worked for them so well.
that's y'all's coach of the year, bro. I told y'all who my coach of the year was.
I'd have to see that lineup get cooked to really believe like that it wouldn't work. Because Chet's so versatile. Hartenstein isn't the most versatile, but he's not like he's a cone out there.
Not at all, and he's a really good offensive player.
Exactly. So, hey, why not throw it out there? I don't think Case and Wallace really making that much of an impact at all, to be honest. I mean, when I watch him out on the floor, I don't think I've seen one player where it's like, wow, Case and Wallace. He should definitely be on the floor right now. Either start Caruso or go back to the double big lineup.
Yeah, if I was then, I would probably would go back to double big, but there's got to be a reason that they're not doing it, right? Like, Daignault has to see something that we don't see.
Just to get another ball handler on the floor?
I mean, Case and Wallace really isn't the greatest ball handler, though. Like,
No.
he's good, but
He's not like an offensive player either. Like, it's not like you're putting more offense out there with him.
I mean, you probably are with iHeart.
Well, with the Pacers like being a team that runs in transition so much, if you really go with the double big lineup and everyone crash the offensive glass,
bro. Might get cooked.
If you, because everyone's running on the Pacers, if you really go and crash the offensive glass,
I get that,
you
but
get so many.
If the ball doesn't bounce your
opportunities.
way, then there's a real chance that you're gonna get cooked.
Well, they're
in
getting cooked
transition.
either way, so it's like
But do you want it to
gotta
happen
try
every
to-
possession?
you
Like,
got to try to counter it some way.
yeah, I mean, the thing about playing against Tyrese Halliburton is he's gonna find an open guy down the fucking court anytime there is one.
Yeah,
Like, how many times in the Knicks series did we see Pascal Siakam get an easy bucket in transition?
way too many for the Knicks.
We already seen that a few times, at least in Game 3, where Pascal got an easy bucket in transition. It's going to happen regardless, but do you want to make it fucking happen to yourself by crashing offensive boards with double big lineups?
Or you can counter it.
I get it. It's just a risky fucking play.
Yeah.
The ball can bounce anywhere.
Well,
Like,
it's 2-1. You gotta try something. I
It's
mean,
2-1, but you're the better.
no, I'm not panicking if I'm the Thunder, but I'm not cool and chalant either about it.
Nah, I mean you dropped home court advantage, and that's the truth of it. Like that game 1 loss, it might be the fucking story of the series, man.
Yeah, the Pacers somehow win games
Stole a
they
fucking
shouldn't
game,
win,
bro. Stole a fucking game, like
and
right out from under their nose, bro.
they've got a chance to go up 3-1.
And here's why, like this is the first game where the Pacers were really in control of the game.
Yeah, I
Game
agree.
1, the Thunder had them by the balls all game long,
Yeah,
and just loosen their grip. Sorry for the analogy, but motherfucking game 2, they fucking smoked them. Of course,
they put their foot on their neck and they didn't let up.
yeah, that's why I'm riding with the Thunder. I feel like there's a chance that in any one of these games they can get up big and not let go. Like,
I don't think they can do that in Indiana, if I'm being honest.
you don't think they can
The
get a game
crowd's
in
bringing
Indiana?
too much energy. Like they could win in Indiana, but ain't gonna be no 10-point win
Dude, they almost did it last night. Pascal Siakam saved the Pacers.
in the first quarter.
Yes,
Yeah, he did.
he really did. If Pascal wasn't on early, they could have gone up fucking 15-2. Like,
Yeah, but what's the
That's what it
chances
was looking like.
every starter is gonna be off? Like
we saw it last night.
That's why but Pascal was on.
Yeah, luckily.
Not luckily, this is Pascal Siakam we talking about, NBA champion. Like
I know. I'm
the
a
Thunder are
Pascal
lucky
guy,
if he's
but
off.
I'm a Pascal guy, but it's not like he had a fantastic game the rest of the game. Like
He played his role.
It's not easy for him to get buckets against either of those bigs,
Nah,
and especially when they're playing the double big lineup. But the
that's
reality
hey,
is,
that's what I'm saying.
he
If
got
they
a couple-
started that lineup instead of letting Pascal get easy buckets against Shea and Kaysen, they could have fucking blown him out.
Bro, I just realized I never turn on that light.
How did we not realize?
Literally,
the fucking
bro,
light
like,
off.
The fucking
like-
light off. What the fuck?
Jesus, we're retarded.
All right. Where were we? Sorry about that, y'all. We realized we never turned on our ring light, so
Yeah, maybe y'all can see us a little bit better now.
sorry if it was a little bit shitty to start. But we were talking about Pascal, and I forgot exactly where we were.
I was saying maybe if they started the double big lineup, maybe he didn't get off to that great start.
And
But
they could
either way, he
smoke him
did.
out the gate.
Either way, he did. And then Tyrese eventually woke up, and we know who else came.
Yeah.
McConnell, Mathurin, obviously.
Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin, he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
No, I
He's
mean,
been consistent every single
I don't
game.
know if he had like the greatest shooting night last night, but his energy,
His
and
impact is there.
that putback dunk, like you mentioned, him
Yeah.
in transition, just getting after the basket and really putting pressure on the rim, which is another reason why I think Ben Mathurin has been playing so well, because he puts a lot of pressure on the rim for the Pacers.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, in the finals, the Pacers have two guys shooting 55 plus from the field and 60 plus from three. Do you know who those two guys are?
Mathurin and Toppin.
Nope.
Okay.
It's Mathurin and McConnell. Timothy McConnell.
Yeah. He was the best player last night in
He's
that
not
10 minutes
he's not
drive.
He's not Timothy John McConnell. He's Timothy John McConnell. That's H.J. McConnell now, bro.
H.J. McConnell.
Him.
Yes, sirs. It's him.
The yes sirs and Timothy McConnell, bro. My bad, H.J. But all right, we talked about the finals. Let's move on to some of our hot headlines for this week.
A lot of shit cooking up for the offseason.
First thing I want to talk about is fucking Tom Thibodeau. Well, we already talked about getting him fired, I believe, but the Knicks and their fucking head coaching search has just been a ridiculous shit show. Like,
Their plan was, all right, we going to fire Thibodeau, and we just going to try to steal everybody else's coach that's good.
the first report we saw, I saw rumors before that they were going to try to hire Ime Udoka, and I was like, that's not going to fucking happen. He's
No.
under contract with the motherfucking Houston Rockets. But the first report that came out, I believe from Shams, was Chris Finch and Ime Udoka were reached out to. Or
I saw Jason Kidd, too. That was the
I
first
saw
one
that.
I saw.
Oh, I saw that afterwards.
Okay.
The first two I saw, and it came together in one report, was Ime and Chris Finch. Then I saw Jason Kidd, and all of the reports were like, and their team emphatically said no.
Yeah.
Like, why would first of all, a team that went to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, and a young team that just got the best fucking head coach they've ever had, and were second seed in the West last year, give up their head coach? The Jason Kidd one, I can almost understand, because if he was like hurt in any way by the Luka Doncic trade, but also at the same time, like, why would a team allow that? It's up to the team. Like,
Yeah,
they're
they're
under
asking
fucking
permission at the
contract.
end of the day.
They're under fucking contract. Like,
Yo,
why would
do you
we
hate
do
this
that?
guy, by the way, and didn't fire him for some reason? And
We'll take him off your hands.
yeah,
Like, no sweat on our back, brother. Like, the fuck?
yeah,
There was
that's not
another
even
guy,
everybody.
too.
Like there was,
Yeah.
they did Billy Donovan too.
Yes. Was that Centel? I didn't check.
I don't know. I think it
No,
was real.
I
If he
think it
said
was
no.
real because I think I read a comment that said, "How is this not Centel?"
Yeah,
I mean, is Billy Donovan really a guy like that?
I think
know
he's,
you
I
like
think he's a good coach. He's not some guy I'm trying to steal from another team. Like I ain't that desperate to get him. Like he's a good coach. He's probably the same tier, maybe a little bit better than Thibodeau, to be honest. Adjustment wise,
Maybe.
like I think he just makes better adjustments because Thibodeau doesn't really
I heard
adjust.
Thibodeau doesn't even run like scrimmages in the fucking training camp.
What does he do?
I don't know. That's just
Go
something
out
I
there,
read.
hoop, fellas.
I don't know, drills and shit. But like normally in the NBA, it's a lot more scrimmaging.
Yeah,
I also saw a report. I believe it was last year that someone said if Tibbs was still coaching, they're not going to come back to the Knicks.
Carl Anthony Towns. No.
No. I think it was an older report, but it was still something that like was brought up when he was fired. But apparently, I read Knicks are narrowing their focus on Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins. So those are two guys we talked about when we first heard the firing that we liked for the Knicks. I personally like Mike Malone more than anybody, but Mike Brown would do wonders with this offense. Defense might fall off a little bit, but I think they have a lot of talent there.
I just think Jenkins is a
wings.
great coach.
Did you see what he did with the Grizzlies?
Yeah.
I don't think he did good. I mean, let me not say that. I think he did great when his star player wasn't there and like being able
He ran
to.
a great system.
He did run a good system, but in that system, Ja was not playing well last year.
Well, I think, to be honest, like, obviously, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what's really going on, but during the regular season, you try to experiment and get the other guys confidence and get him involved. I'm sure in the playoffs, he'd give his main guy a little bit more opportunity.
They didn't make the fucking playoffs.
They did. They would have beat the Thunder if Ja doesn't get hurt.
Shut up.
That's what Ja said.
I forgot they were in the fucking like AC.
It was 1-1. They would have beat their ass if Ja didn't get hurt. Lou Dort,
Chill.
dirty ass player.
Chill.
Nah, but
ain't dirty.
They we're a good team.
Yeah, I mean,
I just think Ja didn't like him, so he wasn't playing his hardest.
Damn, would you do that?
I don't. He wanted him fired, so he's playing not 100%. Same shit Jimmy did. Like
That's
he
kinda
wanted
fucking
out,
crazy,
so
bro.
he's not gonna play 100%. He wanted the coach gone. He's not gonna play 100%.
I don't fuck with you, the job. If that's the truth.
Who really knows? Like,
Yeah.
it's just speculation. But I think Jenkins, he knows how to give a team confidence. Runs a good defensive scheme, good offensive scheme. I think he'd just be the perfect guy.
I prefer Mike Brown or Mike Malone.
Yeah,
That's
Mike
me.
Malone, I wouldn't mind. Mike Brown, I wouldn't mind either, but I think you need a little bit more defense.
Yeah, Mike Brown's hasn't been a head coach in what 1 or 2 years now.
He just got fired from the Kings.
Yeah, like 2 years ago now.
No, this year.
That was that fucking was this year.
Yeah.
Bro. What am I talking about? I was hoping the Rockets hired him as like an offensive assistant coach.
That'd be nice.
I mean, that would be beautiful. But the Suns, they hired Cavs assistant Jordan Ott. I don't know too much about him. I do know there's been kind of a rumble. I saw like a press interview with him where they're asking about he's a Michigan State guy. Matt Ishbia's a Michigan State guy. The new Suns GM, Brian Gregory, is a Michigan State guy. Were you hired just because you went to Michigan State? And he seemed pretty defensive. He went on like a little rant, like, I've worked my ass off for 20 years to get here. I think I earned this job. I don't know shit about him, so I don't know what to make of it. But what I do know is this is Devin Booker's 8th coach in 11 years.
That's crazy.
It's kind of crazy he's been in the league 11 years too, but
That is pretty crazy.
it makes me fucking feel old. But do you think Devin Booker should still like have loyalty to this poverty franchise? Because that's what it is at this point. The richest poverty franchise of all time.
You give it another year at least.
I mean,
Really, what are they going to get back for KD? Is it going to be young guys, or is it going to be guys that can help build around Devin Booker?
if he's going to the Suns, then it's going to be fucking Devin Vassell and Calvin Johnson,
Well, yeah, I mean,
which
that's
isn't
not what
shit.
you want.
No, it's not what you want at all.
You got to get Sohan at least in that trade.
Do you think they give up all three for KD?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the Suns can do that. They'd have to, because they're a second apron team, they can't, I forgot what the word's called, aggregate contracts where, like, they can't trade one guy for 3 or 3 guys for one or it's got to be, like, there has to be, like, a third, fourth team involved.
Yeah. But, no, if I'm D-Book, I'm not requesting a trade this offseason or anything.
I might, bro. They've kind of been an embarrassment.
I mean, they just went to the finals a few years ago.
I just want to say I predicted this.
They went to the finals a few years ago. I want to say his whole
Like
time as
4 or
a Phoenix
5
Suns
years ago,
has been an
bro.
embarrassment. I want to say his whole time as a Phoenix
That
Sun.
shit was pre-COVID, wasn't it?
Nah, dude, that shit was 2021.
Was it?
Yeah.
I gotta look this up.
It was a year after COVID. I know for a fact. Because they faced the Bucks. That was the Bucks championship.
I know that was the
2021.
Bucks championship. I can never remember the year though. It was 2021.
So yeah, I mean, it was 4 years ago.
4 years
And
ago,
their
and what have they done
entire
since
team
then?
is different. That's just bad GMing.
That's my fucking point.
Well, they got a
bro.
new GM now.
I mean, no, honestly, let's look at that. What that roster was back then. It was Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. The only real guys you're missing right now are Mikal Bridges, and Cam Johnson. Those guys should have never been traded for KD. Ayton, nah. Ayton fell off real hard after those finals, bro.
But he's better than anyone they've had all year, though.
Yeah,
he's still a center that can rebound and play some defense and
how do you end up
finish
in
sometimes.
Portland again? It had something to do with Drew Holiday, right? Like they traded for Drew Holiday, they traded Dame for Drew Holiday, and then they sent Drew Holiday to the Celtics in like a 3-team deal that I think.
Yeah, they like Robert Williams.
They got Robert Williams and DeAndre.
I have no idea how he ended up in Portland.
It had something to do with Drew Holiday.
Yeah, because it was a massive 6-team trade.
6-team?
That trade, and then they made another trade.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they actually got back from Portland.
Portland's fucking roster. Either way. I think it was I don't know if it was smart to move off Ayton in that deal. What they should have done is just let fucking Indiana pay him.
Exactly.
But they'd let him walk for nothing, and I don't know. It was a tough situation. I don't think Ayton was the guy, and he hasn't shown any ability to stay on the court as well. So I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I think the KD trade was probably a mistake.
When you look at it now, it was. But if you make that KD trade and you get a serviceable center next to him, and that's the year they got rid of Chris Paul too, you bring another point guard in and don't bring Beal in.
The Beal fucking trade was the biggest mistake of them all.
Exactly.
Really
pigeonholed their entire team.
Crippled your chances of getting an actual good player. What did they trade for Beal again?
That was a Chris Paul.
That was Chris Paul, yeah. Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, they traded Chris Paul to the Wizards, and then the Wizards traded him for Jordan Poole.
Yes, you're actually right. That's for sure. Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and draft capital. Either way.
How do you think a fucking big three of Bradley Beal, Booker, and 38-year-old KD is going to work? That's just bad GMing from, I think it was James Jones.
It was James Jones.
So,
which has been actually moved to a senior advisor position.
Yeah, the Suns are cooked.
The Suns are mega cooked. I told you this was going to happen, brother. You said I was
But hey,
crazy.
maybe they get some decent back from KD. I mean, they're going to get something decent.
Maybe.
They're going to get something decent.
I honestly don't want KD on the Rockets, bro. How many?
He's going to be on the Spurs of the Timberwolves. And if the Suns can get McDaniels and Gobert, that's perfect for that team.
That's a fucking big ask for a 38-year-old 1-year rental of KD, though.
You get rid of Gobert.
But you want Jaden McDaniels for the future. You're
Yeah,
not
I
getting
mean,
Jaden
Jaden
McDaniels.
McDaniels ain't that great.
You're not getting Jaden McDaniels from me, though.
Then you're not trading him.
Are the Spurs going to give you something better? I'll give you no.
Then Gobert, then just Gobert, yeah.
Who?
The Spurs have so many picks.
Yeah. But how much do the Spurs really want to give up their young fucking draft picks for?
They got the
KD?
number 2 pick this year. They're not giving it up.
Yeah.
They can trade.
I don't know, man.
Vassell.
Dylan Harper, fucking
It's gonna
Stephen
be
Castle,
nice.
and De'Aaron Fox makes no sense.
Oh yeah,
to me.
they forgot they had fucking Fox too. Like,
Yeah, like that makes no sense.
so
to
you
me.
can trade Castle.
For KD.
What do you mean for
That's
KD?
wild, bro.
Oh, so you're gonna have 4 point guards on
But
the
you're-
team? Like,
you don't have to draft Dylan Harper.
who the fuck else they gonna draft?
We just
Ace
talked
Bailey?
about this, bro. Sixers looking to move up.
Yeah, Sixers want to move up a spot.
Maybe they trade number 2 to the Sixers and trade down even further after that. I don't know. Like trading fucking Stephen Castle, who you're higher on than me, for a 1-year rental of KD possibly, is just absolutely bonkers. That's fucking terrible GMing to me.
Yeah, I mean Castle's very
Like,
valuable.
KD's nice like that, but you just don't know how long he's gonna play basketball anymore. You know,
Bro, you're
Stephen
acting like you
Castle's
didn't
gonna
just drop 26 a game on 70%
I
true
agree,
shooting.
but you don't know how long he's gonna fucking play basketball. You know,
Has
Stephen
it looked
Castle
like he fell
is
off
gonna-
at all though? Obviously,
you
the athleticism
know
isn't
for a
there.
fact Stephen Castle will be a fucking NBA
I know for a
player.
fact he'll never reach Durant's peak.
Okay, but you're not getting his peak.
But even right now, KD
I agree.
is still a top 15 player in the
my
league.
thought, bro. Stephen Castle's gonna fucking play another 10, 15 years in the league, bro.
Yeah. And who knows if he'll ever be an all-star. You just traded for De'Aaron Fox. I think he probably will be. But
Yeah.
you just traded for an all-star certified point guard, De'Aaron Fox.
You
So
think
it's like
De'Aaron
you
Fox
just
is
gonna-
like that?
I mean, you just traded for him. Like, the fuck, you just going to let him walk in a few years? No. Fox is... yeah, I think Fox, KD, and Wemby would be a perfect...
You think that's a championship squad?
Next year,
Yeah.
they can be in contention, depending on the role players and moves they make.
You
I
really
think they can
so?
compete with the Nuggets and Thunder.
If you're trading fucking Stephen Castle for KD, this better be a championship squad, my guy.
Well, they're not the fucking number 1 seed, but
That's my point. It's not that. It's not a championship.
you don't have to be a
squad.
number 1 seed to win a fucking
Not a
championship.
number 1 seed. I'm saying a championship squad. I don't think that's a championship
It puts
team.
them in contention.
Not in my opinion. There's too many good teams in the West.
Who?
The Thunder, not the Warriors, but I mean
They're better than the Warriors after that trade.
the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves.
They're in the same tier as
Rockets.
the Nuggets, Timberwolves, Rockets. If they make that trade,
You've
they're in the
never
same
seen
tier.
them play. You said the same shit about the Sixers last year, and look what happened to them.
They didn't play.
Exactly
play.
my point. You don't know what's going to happen, so I don't know why you're putting them up on this pedestal of
I'm just-
proven teams.
Hypothetically,
I'm
the
saying,
fucking Rockets are proven.
Yeah.
They made the playoffs once.
Okay,
They lost in
bro.
the first round
how much you want to bet they're better than the fucking Spurs next year?
with KD.
If they have KD or not.
I ain't gonna make this bet now. We got a whole off season ahead of us.
You
brother.
mad? You mad because I stole $50 off you?
I'm just saying.
because you hyped up the goddamn Sixers. All I'm saying is don't make the same goddamn mistake again, bro.
bro? Are you? So you're saying?
Getting the
So
possibly
you're saying the
washed
Thunder?
up forward.
Listen to this lineup: De'Aaron Fox, Vassell, KD, Sohan, Wemby.
You got to give up some kind of contract to get KD. It can't just be Castle. You have to give up a contract. Whose contract?
They
Vassell
got fucking
or Keldon Johnson.
Keldon Johnson.
You could probably have to give up another contract. I don't know what
They've
it looks like.
got
bro.
other players on the team, bro. I'm sure they'll make it work. If
Keep
they
it a
need to
buck,
add
bro.
another team in
I'd
there.
rather trade De'Aaron Fox for KD.
You're absolutely fucking retarded.
I just think
Why would you trade
You're right.
this?
That was
Okay,
dumb.
okay.
Only because
Because then
I don't want
he's
to
the
trade
guy
for
that's helping
KD
you win the
anyways.
championship.
I just think that when you have a Wemby, you gotta fucking plan for a dynasty, not to fucking possibly be in contention
That's
for 1
the
or 2
thing.
years.
Bro, they can trade for KD and still have a fucking young core coming up for the next few years.
If
and
they
be
draft
in
Dylan
contention now.
Harper, like
If they got Harper.
We don't know, but I
They
personally,
still
if
got
I'm the Suns,
Vassell.
I'm not
They
trading
still
Castle
have
for
a
KD.
multitude of draft picks.
I'm just not that high on a KD trade. Like, I'm not going to give up that much value for a fucking
Well, how much value are they giving
40-year-old
up?
KD. Stephen Castle is a lot of value. More
Is he
value than 1 year
more
of
valuable
KD.
than Kevin Durant?
The career of Stephen Castle, yes, will be more valuable than 1
Okay,
year of
this is
38-year-old
okay.
KD.
You kind of think about it like, oh, we're gonna trade for him. We're gonna extend him for a fucking year or two.
You don't know
Yeah,
if he's gonna fucking retire next year or not.
You think
he could
Kevin
tear
Durant's
another
gonna fucking
Achilles and
retire
retire
next year?
Yeah, he could. It's just not out
Barring
of the
he's
realm of
healthy.
possibility. I get that.
If he stays healthy, he's not just gonna retire
I
next
agree.
year. Like
I agree.
Kevin Durant.
But he could also just be like, yeah, I don't like it here, as he's done 3 other fucking times, 4 other times, and leave to another team.
He's only done that because
What?
because
they
the
couldn't
fucking
win?
team sucked.
What if the team sucks next year? You
think-
just don't know.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Has De'Aaron Fox ever been able to fucking finish a season?
What are you talking about?
He got hurt last year, right?
No.
Okay.
Ever finished a season?
Wemby hasn't finished a season. KD's barely
finished his
scrapped
rookie
through the
year.
last 3 seasons.
Did he not
No, he
finish his
didn't.
rookie
No, he
year?
didn't.
What happened?
Don't remember. But I know he didn't play all fucking 82 games or even close to that.
Yeah, look it up. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't remember any major Wemby injury besides the blood clot that just happened.
I don't
last
think
year.
it was a major injury. I think it was an injury that sat him
just-
out for most of the year, though. Not most of the year.
71
He played
games.
40. Okay, 71.
71.
71. And then he played 46
And then they
games
sat him
last year.
because they were
The
tanking.
blood clot, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying, but like, I just have no faith in that roster, bro. If that they're in contention.
I'm not
next
saying
year.
they're the fucking championship favorite,
I know,
but they're on the same tier, if not better than the
Stephen
Rockets.
Castle right now, a player that we just saw have a great rookie fucking season.
Rookie of the year,
yeah,
I believe.
he was rookie of the year. You're gonna trade him, someone who I think pairs very well with Wemby, for a.
He doesn't pair as well as Wemby as Dylan Harper does.
I don't know that much about Dylan Harper, but the point is that
I'm
you can
telling
trade
you.
number 2 for another thing. You could trade number 2 for fucking, I don't know. I was gonna say Jaylen Brown, but that's not gonna happen. But like Loki, that would kind of be nice though.
That shit would be nice. Fuck.
If you trade number 2 and like Calvin Johnson and Devin Vassell, probably have to throw
All for Jaylen Brown?
dude. Calvin Johnson.
That's a lot of value.
Number 2, Devin Vassell and Calvin Johnson's a lot of value to you.
I feel like the number 2 pick is more valuable than Stephon Castle right now.
Stephen Castle was the number 3 pick last year.
But I just think Harper is like.
But we haven't seen Harper in the NBA. We've seen
No, I'm just
Stephen Castle
hypothetically.
have success in the NBA. That's how I think about it. It's more of a risk to draft a guy that you've never seen play an NBA minute than someone that you've seen have success at the
But
NBA level.
sometimes you just
At the
know
age of
this
19
guy's
years
going to
old.
be good.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Have
What
you
a-
watched a single minute of him play?
No.
Then
But
you really don't know.
no. It's not about that. You know how many times they said that about guys that were busts?
Like,
Like every fucking number 1 pick that's been a bust? Maybe not Anthony Bennett, that's different, but like, dude, Michael Kidd Gilchrist was the number 2 pick. He was supposed to be fucking phenomenal. He was just one of those guys that he's going to be
they
an
only
impact now
drafted him
player.
because he fucking went to Kentucky.
It was not just that. I remember Michael Kidd Gilchrist was nice at Kentucky. He was a defensive guy. He was a playmaker. He was an all-around glue guy. One of those guys you knew for sure was going to come into the league and have success immediately.
No, bro, there are legitimate questions about his game, and they came
Okay,
into
his
the
shooting,
NBA and
his shooting
his jump shot, yeah,
was fucking
his overall scoring
fugly,
ability.
but
The only way he could score is if he got to the rim, and in college he did because he was bigger and longer than 90% of the players.
I that's just an example though. Like
But
there's been so
busts,
many guys.
busts happen
like,
way less than you think. You know, like what's the last bust you remember?
James Wiseman.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
shit was fucked. But he also didn't play college at all.
What about it?
And he went to a team that tried to. I think if he doesn't get drafted by the Warriors, and they played.
Dude, James Wiseman's
Ja-
guy who
James
shows
Wiseman
zero
is a-
fucking effort sometimes.
James Wiseman was a give him the ball and let him cook type guy, not rim run, set screens, and do all the dirty work.
It doesn't happen in the fucking NBA for most big men, though. He's not Joel Embiid. You're not Jokic. You're not a fucking give them the ball and cook guy. It doesn't happen anymore. Look at Jahlil Okafor. That's one of those other guys that you knew he was going to be a fucking beast in the NBA.
But that was
He
right
could
when
put
the
up
NBA
stats.
changed, though. Like it went away from the big man.
I
That
agree.
guy couldn't play a lick of defense either.
yeah, that's absolutely right. But I mean, fucking like injuries happen too, bro. Like Greg Oden.
Yeah.
Like, that's a bust, but he could have been great. He just couldn't
It's
stay
not
healthy.
it's a bust because of injuries.
Yeah, that shit happens, though. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's better to get a guy that you know can get through an NBA season. Has
Castle
had
can
success.
tear his ACL next year, and
I agree. But you've
Like-
seen it with your own eyes, bro. Number 2, Dylan Harper, is an absolute guess. And I saw a report today that they're not sold on Dylan Harper at 2. I don't know how true that is, but I read it.
that's probably just because the players they have on their team already.
Stephen Castle.
Castle and Fox.
Yeah. You would really trade Castle for KD right now?
Straight up.
Well, there's another contract involved. Keldon Johnson, at least. Maybe Zach Collins or something.
I don't know if I would do it, but I'm not saying it would be a bad move though.
I think in the long term, it's definitely a bad move. KD hasn't gone anywhere except
I don't
the
think
fucking
they're
73 and 19.
They're not gonna like miss Castle though. Like they've got so many guys on the team. Like
Castle did a lot for them when Wemby didn't play after. Like he played.
he played well.
He played well.
He played very well for Israel. Like I'm still a
Put up
Castle
like
fan.
17
like,
points a game in the last 20 games of the season.
No, I'm still a Castle fan. I think he will be an All-Star.
Then
But is it
why are
going to
you
be
acting
with
like,
San Antonio though?
Okay, but you have the opportunity to have that or have possibly 1 year of Kevin Durant. If it doesn't go well for them next year, he could decide to just leave.
Yeah, he could.
That's my point, bro. Like, or he could just decide to hang up the fucking shoes. Like,
Yeah, he could. He could.
I don't think that. I'm not predicting that. That's not what I believe will happen, but it could, bro.
I think if you're,
Like, I think it's a massive risk.
if you trade for KD right now, you're signing like you're agreeing to an extension before you trade for him. Probably the two-year extension.
Do you think KD's into that?
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems like a guy that likes to keep his options open to me, bro. But I guess you could always just demand a trade, like
Bro, like when he was with the Nets, he signed a fucking extension before anybody did, trying to be the guy that's like, all right, I'm here for the long run. But then they trade hard and they trade Kyrie. What do you want him just fucking sit there and rot with Edmund Sumner on the team? Like, no, he's gonna request a trade.
I get that.
Same shit happening with the Suns. Like, it's not his fault the team can't fucking build.
You don't remember he
players
requested
around
a trade, and then they said they're not going to trade him, and then they said he doesn't even want to be traded anymore. And then they traded
the
him.
Nets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he requested a trade
All
because
I'm
of the
saying,
Kyrie situation.
He's requested a trade out of the last 3 organizations. What makes you think the Spurs are going to be different?
Because the Spurs are going to be a good team.
Okay, you said the Sixers were going to be a good team last year.
That's injuries, bro.
Bro, but like Paul George played
Every
like
single
dog
player
shit.
on their team was injured.
don't
McCain,
disagree.
Embiid, Maxey, Paul George, like
But when they played together, they didn't look good either.
they didn't even fucking play together. Like,
Embiid and fucking
You're-
Paul George played games together.
You're bringing in a random thing that I was wrong about. What
It's
does that
not.
have to do with the Spurs situation?
I'm saying you guaranteeing this is going to be a good team is the same thing you did with the Sixers.
If they're healthy, bro. If they're
Bro,
healthy.
what about the Suns? You said the Suns were going to be a fucking top 6 seed last year. You
I
guarantee
said they were like
gonna
a
be good team.
45-win team.
I don't think that's what was said.
I didn't say they were going to be a fucking 50-plus win contender. I said they were probably going to be a playoff team. I didn't know Nurkic was that fucking dog shit, but like, you have legitimately Wemby,
But guess who's
Fox,
on that
certified
team, bro?
players. Like,
KD. You think Devin
but
Booker's not a
bro,
certified player?
you're blaming
I'm not
that
blaming it on
horrible
KD.
fucking roster construction. What does
You-
that have to do with KD?
You didn't believe it was a horrible roster construction until you saw that they were ass.
Okay, but like,
Okay,
think
but
about
like
it
what I'm
logically.
saying is
think about it logically.
what I'm saying is you can think a team's good and then it turns out they're ass.
But just
I'm just saying it's
do you
in the
think,
cards.
Do you
bro.
think the fucking? Do you like? What's your opinion? You think the Spurs would be ass?
I don't
with
think
that
they'd be
lineup?
ass, but I don't think they're fucking championship contenders. And if I'm trading for KD for 1 year, I want to be
You
a
have
championship
two-
contender.
You have 2 top 15 players in the league with Wemby and KD, and you have De'Aaron Fox, one of the clutchest players in the NBA.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if they don't play
A
well
good
on the
role
court
player.
together. It doesn't matter if they don't play well on the court together, and we just don't know that until we see it.
Yeah, but just like think about it. Why wouldn't they play well together on the court?
Brother, I can't explain
Just like
that.
give me
That shit
one
just fucking happens.
one thing. Give me one thing that would not let them be good together on
Brother.
the court. You can't because they'd fit together perfectly.
Okay, if that's what you want to believe. I hope they trade for him now. I hope they trade
Fox
for him.
gets to the rim, can throw lobs to Wemby. KD space the floor, can score anywhere. Wemby can
right.
fucking score anywhere.
I'm moving
Brings
on
the
from this
defense.
guy. If you want to guarantee success for something you've never seen, go ahead and do that. But
When did I guarantee success?
you just did.
I'm telling you my opinion of what I think the team would be.
Yeah,
Like.
and you're saying there's no way
Did I
that
say I
they
can?
don't work
Did I
together.
say I can? I'm always right and I'm never wrong? No,
I didn't say that.
I'm
just
giving you
saying,
my opinion. I
I'm
think
saying
they'd be a
what you
really
said
good team,
was that
and they
there's
could
no
beat
way
a
they
team
don't
like
work
the
together.
Nuggets or the Thunder in the playoffs.
Okay.
I just think they'd be that good.
I think there's a chance that they're that good. I think there's a chance they don't fucking make the playoffs.
If I'm telling you, if they have KD on the team, they're not missing the playoffs.
We saw it last year.
Oh, KD was on the Spurs last year.
KD was on the Suns last year. They missed the fucking playoffs.
Yeah. What's your
KD
fucking
doesn't
point?
guarantee you a playoff
That's
spot.
an entire completely fucking different roster.
Bro, I'm saying
Bro,
KD
the
doesn't
Spurs
just turn you
the
into
Spurs were a better team than the Suns without KD. So you fucking put KD on the team.
Does the record say that?
The record
Does
probably
the
not
record
because
say
fucking
that?
Wemby played 46 games.
I don't even think before that they had a better record.
And Fox got traded there mid-season.
Okay, what my point is that no facts back up what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not fucking talking about facts, bro.
Okay, I get it's your opinion. I'm just trying to make you see the other side of it where it doesn't work. Like, there's a chance it doesn't work.
No, there's not a chance that they miss
That's
the playoffs.
guaranteeing success.
There's not a chance
for
that
something you've never
they
seen.
missed the playoffs
If that's
completely,
the
bro.
argument you want to stand on, brother, stand on it. I'm moving on. My point's been heard. They understand what we're saying now.
I just think
I just wanted
crazy,
you to
bro.
admit that you're guaranteeing success for something you've never seen the same way you did with the Sixers last year.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Sixers play together yet.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm completely wrong about that.
I'm not saying you're wrong about that either. I'm just saying anything can fucking happen. It's the NBA.
No, anything can happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their entire team can get hurt next year. Who knows?
Not barring injury, there's a chance that they just don't work out together. And
But
I'm not
it's
an
a
NBA
small
coach.
chance.
I agree. But here's the thing, bro. When you trade Stephen Castle, a massive piece of your future,
A massive piece of their fucking future.
dude, he was the number 3 pick last year with a very successful rookie season. Yeah, he's a big part of their future if they want to fucking build something. Do you want to build something or do you want to trade for 1 year of KD and possibly miss the playoffs?
I just don't think you keep Castle for his rest of the career, and then what? They're just gonna be a mid team their whole career.
Bro. Mid? You think?
If they got KD, they're probably gonna miss the playoffs. But if they don't trade
I didn't
for
say
him,
probably.
then they're
I
gonna
never
make the
said
playoffs.
probably.
Like,
I never said probably, and I never said
what's a higher chance if they're gonna be a good team next year? If
I
they
never
trade for
said
KD or if
next
they
year.
don't?
I never said next year. I think you have a higher chance of being a really
Fox
fucking
and
good
fucking
team.
Castle don't fit together.
Dude, Fox is not in my long-term Spurs.
Then
plan,
why would they
personally.
trade for him?
I don't know. I'm not the GM, but
Well, obviously their GM thinks he's part of their long term
okay.
fucking.
I also
future,
think they got him
no?
on a goddamn steal.
That's why they traded for him.
So maybe they just flip him for something more. Like, you never know, bro. You don't know what is in.
I mean,
these GMs'
obviously, if
minds.
the chance to get
you just being closed minded.
obviously
right
if the
now, bro.
chance to get Ant
That's
out
different.
there, then you fucking trade Fox. But who else would you fucking trade him for?
I don't know. I'd rather trade for fucking Devin Booker before KD.
Obviously,
But D-Book's not available right now.
and you're like,
I'm just saying,
They
why
just- why would
exhaust
they
your
trade?
biggest asset besides Wemby? Can we agree on that? He's their biggest asset right now besides Wemby?
number 2 pick.
That's not a player.
That's an asset.
Okay. Their biggest asset player right now. Their
Besides
biggest
Wemby.
player asset besides Wemby. Can we agree?
Fox.
No, I disagree. I think Castle has more value.
No, bro. An
Look at what-
established
look what
all-star
Fox
point guard,
just got
clutch player
traded
of the year.
for. Look what they
That's
just
because he
traded for.
forced his way out and he said, "I'm going to San Antonio or I'm leaving next offseason."
I don't know, man. I just there's too many questions there. For me personally,
But no, Castle's like next in line. Yeah, he still has a lot of value.
yes, he has.
But if the
massive
Spurs,
value.
if the
You can-
Spurs want to win now,
you're really questioning that he's a big part of their future.
no, I'm not questioning that.
You questioned it before. You're,
I wanted to question it just because.
you're
But
trading a big,
no, I love Castle.
giant part of your future for what could be a 1-year rental of Kevin Durant. And that's for any team trading for him. That's why I'm not, as a Rockets fan, I pray we don't give up one of our young fucking
So, but if you're the
assets.
Spurs, you're content with them of another year of just being ass.
Dude, yes. And who says they're going to be ass next year?
They're not going to be ass, but they'll
I think
be a
they're going to
first
be in
round
a real
exit
spot
team.
for a fucking playoff. Dude,
At best, they're a
Okay.
first round exit team.
I get it. First round exit team, at best. Would you have said that about the Pacers going into last year? Yes.
No, I wouldn't have.
If they were
Because
going
just
against
went to
either
the fucking
the
Eastern
Bucks,
Conference
Sixers,
Finals.
Knicks last year before the season started, I get they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, but everybody wrote
Last
that
year,
off.
2 years ago,
What?
they
No,
were
at
in
the
the Eastern.
beginning of this year. I know they were in the Eastern Conference Finals, but everybody wrote that off as a Cinderella run. Luck, injuries.
Yeah,
If you going into this season with the Sixers you were so high on, the Celtics coming off a championship, the Knicks trading for Cat and Mikal Bridges, the Bucks with Giannis and Dame, you think the Pacers weren't a first round
no, they
exit?
probably were.
That's the same shit that could be said about the Spurs going into this year. Obviously, they're not the Western Conference Finals, but they have Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, Stephen Castle, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan. They have a good team, bro. And the
Yeah,
West
they've
is
got a good
stacked, but
team.
like I do think there's a chance that they're a real playoff team next year without KD.
So there's a real chance they're a good playoff team, but you add KD, and there's a real chance they miss the playoffs completely.
Yes, bro. There's this thing called continuity that matters in the NBA. Playing with players you've played before matters in the NBA. And when you throw a giant piece like Kevin Durant in the mix, it's going
Bro
to
can
change shit.
come in seamlessly.
Okay, bro. You said the same shit about Paul George and the Sixers, though.
Paul George is different than
No,
KD.
no period of meshing. It's just perfect right away.
I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect right away, no, but throughout the season, like
Just said
how
seamlessly,
do
bro.
they have to adjust to KD though?
What do
They
you mean?
don't.
He
KD
gets up-
comes in seamlessly.
Okay. I'm moving on from this. But let's talk about the Kings a little bit. You know, we were talking about De'Aaron Fox. Apparently they reached out.
Before we move on,
Okay.
is
Get your point
there any team that you want to see KD actually go to? Because every team sounds like you're not giving up anything for him.
I mean, I think if you can get him for the right deal, yes.
If you give up a potato chip, you'll trade for him.
Not a potato chip, but like Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson and a pick, a future pick.
In one pick.
I mean, I also don't love the idea of Dylan Harper and Stephen Castle and De'Aaron Fox on this fucking same team too. But maybe the Sixers want to get involved, get pick 2. Maybe you trade pick 3.
I'd like VJ for San Antonio.
I would like that too. But there's also maybe they trade off 3 and someone picks Ace Bailey at 3 and you can get VJ later on.
I mean, the Sixers, they got Maxey and McCain. They don't really need Harper.
They don't need Harper, but McCain's like 6'5". He can play some 3.
He's not 6'5", bro. He's like 6'2",
McCain?
6'3". Yeah,
I
he's
swore
a
he was
guard.
taller though.
He ain't no 6'5". That's for sure.
Okay, he's 6'3". He's 6'3". I thought he came into the league like listed higher.
But like, so no, there's no team that you'd like legitimately trade a real piece for KD. You said Timberwolves, you're not trading McDaniels. Rockets.
I won't trade McDaniels, but I'll basically give you Rudy Gobert and anybody else besides Ant. I'll give you Gobert, Dillingham, and he's yours. Like, you wouldn't take that trade as the
Rob's
Suns?
a big part of their future.
A lot of Timberwolves fans don't even want Rob around anymore, bro.
Yeah,
They
because
think
he
he's
didn't
very-
play their rookie year.
I
He
think,
didn't have the NBA body. Like,
dude, a lot of
I see
people
a lot
are
of people
saying Rob
overreacting.
Dillingham's like
I see a lot of
fucking-
people overreacting.
I agree. There's definitely some overreaction. I think Rob Dillingham definitely has a good future ahead of him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's shifty, but fucking Bones Highland's shifty too. Like, what else can you do on the floor, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just from what I've seen from Timberwolves fans. But I think I'd rather do that
Then give him
than
McDaniels.
give him McDaniels. Yeah.
Who's going to be that center next year? Naz Reid?
Nas Reed. I mean, I'm sure you can get another.
Hey,
big guy.
Gobert's defense.
It's
Can't go understated here.
It's unmatchable, honestly. Like, I don't think you're gonna get another Rudy Gobert, but I mean, I don't know.
Maybe they can find a way
Suns
to
have
get
a
like Clint
first-round
Capella
pick,
there
right?
or something.
Maybe I'll trade McDaniels if you throw in the first round pick from the Suns this year, so I can draft Maluk as a fucking Rudy Gobert replacement. But other than that,
All right, we can move
not
on.
giving McDaniels. But I don't think the Kings. So talking about the Kings, they reached out for Trae Young or Darius Garland. I heard both. I don't think either of those are going to happen. It just doesn't make sense to me. But if these guys were to be moved, Trae Young and Darius Garland, what do you think the ideal spot for them would be? Of course, the Magic.
Magic. of
Yes,
course.
but other than them, like who's a team you want to see Darius Garland or Trae Young on?
I feel like Trey is like he fits so well
In
with
Atlanta,
the Hawks.
yeah.
But maybe the Pelicans?
They got DeJounte, bro. They know that don't work. They're not
Yeah,
trading DeJounte
yeah,
for
true.
fucking Trae Young.
I was just thinking they've got guys like Herb Jones and Trey Murphy that can go on the defensive end around him, and also Trey can make plays for him. And Zion, obviously, that pick and roll would be crazy.
That would be awesome to see.
Even Garland there. I think Garland and DeJounte would fit fine enough together, especially with those wings around him. Like I don't know what you're giving up for him to be able that the Cavs want,
I
and
don't
that
even know
you'd
what the
still
Kings would
like.
trade.
Yeah, no. See, that's why I don't think the Kings are gonna make the trade because they don't have anything that anybody wants. They've got DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Sabonis.
Sabonis,
Like
Keegan Murray,
Keegan Murray, yeah, he's probably their most.
Malik Monk.
Yeah, Monk's good, but
They got some other
it's kind of
guys.
just like a team of misfits over
Yeah, like
there.
Markel Fultz. There's another guard over there. I
Um,
feel like I'm forgetting.
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
defensive guy. He's actually pretty good.
the fuck's his name? I can see him in my head right now.
Keon
Keon
Ellis.
Ellis. Yes.
He's actually good. Don't trade him.
If you're the Cavs, though, would you like entertain the idea of Jalen Suggs for Darius Garland? Probably Jalen Suggs and something else.
Yes,
You would
100%.
entertain it,
Yeah,
and just I like it too. I think he brings a lot of defense for that perimeter, and he's been shooting the ball damn well the last few years. I think so.
it's not like the Cavs
He's just a lot
necessarily
bigger,
need Garland's skill set that he has.
especially when you have Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
And Jalen Suggs can do a lot of things offensively as well. He's not just a defensive guy.
yeah.
But, of course, that's where his value really comes in. His
You could do
defense.
Suggs and shit. I don't even know.
Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah, throw Isaac in there.
I think his contract's too big, though. I feel like... No, I saw a report Jonathan Isaac and Cole Anthony were being shopped around, but that's obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any other spots you want to see these guys? Trae Young. I don't know why. I could just picture him in like a Lakers uniform, but of course they got Luka now, so that shit's never gonna happen.
Clippers.
Clippers, I would like to see honestly.
But how does that?
That doesn't happen. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
They got Harden. Seems
Yeah.
like he's kind of found a home there a little bit.
I mean, let's bring it back to the Spurs actually for a second, because do you think the Sixers actually could possibly make a move at 3? Because I've seen they like VJ Edgecombe a lot, and then they might be locked in on him at 3 if they can't move up.
Well, maybe.
Do you think Ace Bailey falls if that happens? Like if other teams are like, man, if they don't want him.
Maybe the Spurs, they might want to pick Edgecombe at 2. So maybe that's
At
why
2?
the Sixers are trying to move up. I mean, if they don't make a trade, it's like, do you really want that 4-guard rotation of guys that kind of all need time?
Man, just do the Jaylen Brown trade. Fuck it.
Hey,
I don't know.
Jaylen Brown would be perfect for
The
that
Spurs
team.
are kind of in a tough situation now.
That's
because
the
they
most
traded
blessed,
for-
tough situation.
Because they traded for Fox, though. I mean, they got him on a steal. Don't get me wrong. I'd probably do the same thing. But,
Yeah.
like, it's just 2 different timelines, bro. Like, I don't know if Wemby's even ready for a fucking playoff run. I
You
mean,
don't think
he's
so?
fucking phenomenal. But, I mean, we just
I
don't
mean,
know.
might as well like get him experience young though. Like I
True.
think he's good enough that he can show out in a series. Like I think
doubt
you're kind
it,
of forgetting how great Fox is too. Like just because he's been in Sacramento for so long, like
No, I know Fox is like that. I don't know. Fox
he's
kind of
really
rubbed me the
very,
wrong
very,
way
very good.
with the microphone. Just basically his off-court shit this year just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
The whole King situation and how he handled it.
Yeah, I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, he is really good. He's a really good point guard. Can get to the rim. If his shooting
His shooting is
is
pretty good.
consistent, it's really hard to fucking stay in front of him. But I don't know, man. I'm just not the biggest De'Aaron Fox guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through teams right now, and I can't legitimately find a team where it's like, all right, I think Garland and
Trae Young could
Trae
fit
Young
here.
could go here. Like every good team's got a point guard. I mean, unless you're trading fucking Trae Young for Bradley Beal, like or
Why the
guard
fuck?
exactly. Like
Yeah, no. You think the Hawks have a chance to be good next year if Jalen Johnson comes back?
yeah,
healthy?
yeah. I mean, what were they the playing
Risa
team this
Shea.
year?
Yeah.
The young guys just gonna continue to get better, like Dyson and Ricochet, Jalen Johnson. I like
Onyeka.
Nyeka. That's a perfect team I want to see Trae Young like built around.
I mean, they built it around him.
So just stay in Atlanta.
There's just
Atlanta
always
loves
the
him.
rumor with Trae Young that he could be moved.
He's perfect where he is. To
I
be
agree.
honest.
I agree. Zach Edey got some ankle surgery. He's likely to miss a chunk of early season. I don't think they've actually released any timeline yet. But
Hey,
that's
Memphis
tough
is a
for him.
team where they've should have made moves like forever ago. Like I'd love to see them get KD somehow.
Desmond Bain would have to be moved probably.
Yeah. Like
I mean, KD and Jaren Jackson is a pretty nasty fucking front court duo, bro. Especially if you can run them out there with Zach Edey too. That shit's just tall as fuck.
yeah, that defense be crazy.
Ridiculous.
They need like a wing scorer. Like
Yeah,
that's
KD
what they've
really
been
would be
missing
perfect
for
for them. I think GG
past 3
Jackson
years.
is someone they drafted hoping he could be that. Of course, he hasn't had much fucking opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that right now anyways. He's too young, but I think KD would actually be perfect in Memphis. If I was Memphis, I would trade for KD because we need to do something to get a spark in this.
Are you
fucking
giving up
squad.
Jalen Wells
Ugh. Yeah.
with Bane?
Wells and Bain for KD, straight up, no draft picks, basically.
Yeah.
Whatever contracts you need to make it work. Yeah.
For a 1-year rental of KD?
Don't get me wrong. I love Jalen Wells. I don't think he's anywhere near the fucking ceiling that Stephon Castle has, though. I think Jalen Wells is a very good role player and will be a very good role player for the next decade in this league.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has the ceiling that a Castle has.
Definitely not.
I'm less hesitant to move off him for a fucking
What about Bane?
Bane. I like him. I just don't think he's the right guy.
Yeah, he's not.
And I don't think he fits pretty damn good next to Job, but I don't know, man. I don't think Bane fits in very well on most teams just because his size is weird.
He's a weird player.
He's just a weird player. And, like, it's not like he's a great defender. He's good. He's a good offensive player.
I just think Memphis is so good at getting the most out of their guys. Like Bane's a really good player, obviously, but
You know
I
who
think he's
Bane
slightly
actually kind of
overrated.
reminds me of just a little bit, and I don't think he's ever going to, like, reach the peak of this guy, but Bradley Beal, dude.
Yeah,
Just a good offensive player. Like,
yeah.
he's not ever going to be all NBA. He might make an all-star team. I don't think Bane's ever going to be an all-star personally.
Be tough in the West.
Yes. So, yeah, I'd fucking move off Bane for KD. Personally. That's a good team that I'd trade KD to.
Okay. Finally
Or that
got
I'd
one out of
trade
you.
for. Dude, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think KD is phenomenal still. I just don't know if he's actually the guy that puts any of these teams over the edge for anything.
I mean, just from the conversations I've had with you, I think you're just taking in how shitty his team was a little bit too much. But hey, I don't want to talk about KD anymore. We've had enough KD talk.
Yeah. Is there anything left to talk about, though?
I think that might wrap it up there.
Explosive KD conversation today, boys. Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Hey, I'm still a believer.
I'm not a believer. I'm hesitant.
So you're not a believer. That's fine.
I'm not
You're not a non-believer. You're not a believer. You're sitting on the fence.
I'm not a fucking KD like full of faith with him, dude. Like, I'm not gonna ride his dick.
Like it's still KD.
I know it's still KD, but he's proven in 3 different spots now. Not 3.
He's gonna come to the Spurs, be a nice number 2, get a nice number 2 role. Oh yeah.
They said the same shit in Phoenix, bro.
He didn't have Wemby and Fox on that team.
I agree.
He had D-Book and D-Book only.
I guess, man.
What do you mean you guess? No. That's what he had.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't know, man. I just don't
KD
see
do the Spurs 2026 champions. When you see it next year and clip this guy will look silly.
I think KD is a floor raiser. I don't know if he's a ceiling raiser at this point.
Yes,
in
he's
his career,
both.
bro.
He's both.
He's both right now. 40-year-old KD is both.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you got to play him one-on-one, if Fox is bringing 2 guys to paint, you got to leave KD open on the wing. That shit gonna be scary. We didn't even mention Wemby yet.
Yeah.
If they could keep Sohan too, league's in trouble.
They'd be good, but who's
The
the fucking
Rockets
coach
are
now? Mitch,
quaking in their boots.
The Rockets are quaking in their boots. The second seed in the West last year is quaking in their boots to a fucking 12 seed.
Yeah.
Okay, brother.
I
Okay, brother.
don't
If
I don't
that's
know
what
who
you're
is their
saying.
coach. I know Pop is like officially
Mitch
retired
something.
now.
Mitch something. I don't know.
Is he like certified their guy?
He's not
or-
retired, by the way. He's literally like the GM,
Oh yeah,
president
yeah.
of
Retired
basketball
for
operations
coaching.
now.
I mean,
Yeah. Mitch something. Mitch Johnson.
oh yeah, yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know anything about him personally. I know he's probably been with the Spurs for a while, but
Yep.
shit, you trusting a first year head coach to deal with fucking the Kevin Durant antics, brother?
Bro, you're acting like he's Kyrie out there.
He's not. First of
Or
all,
Harden.
Kyrie's the chillest dude of all time, bro. He got wrapped up in some bullshit in Brooklyn.
Yeah, in Boston.
I'm
Hey,
siding
if y'all
with-
will have me next year, I'll have y'all too.
You don't know what
Bro was out
happened in
a
the
year
front
later.
office. You don't know what
Nah,
happened.
I love Kyrie. I'm just joking.
Kyrie's one of my favorite players in the league.
But you're saying KD?
I'm
one of
wearing
the most
fucking
chillest
Kyrie
players in the
brand
league?
sweatpants right now, bro.
KD's one of the chillest guys in the league.
Do you see him tweaking on Twitter, bro?
All he's doing is having conversations.
No,
though.
know what he said the other day? Someone said, "Bro, he
I be
didn't
looking
even
at
he
it.
didn't even at you. You're on here looking to argue with people."
He said, "What's your problem?"
He said,
you got
"Yes."
a problem?
He said, "Yes." Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just like crazy to me. Like, bro, you got to get a life or something, dog. I don't even be on Twitter. That
KD's
much.
got to get a life. The fucking one of the best basketball players.
Do you
of
know
all
what I'm
time.
saying though? Like, bro's on Twitter more than anybody I know.
Yeah, but if it's like he's just a person at the end of the day that's really good at basketball, if he wants to be on Twitter and argue with people, like
Yeah,
I don't see the big deal.
It's kind of corny, bro.
If ain't nobody gonna defend him, he gotta defend himself.
Go start a family, bro. Let me stop. He could be gay or some shit.
Hey, who knows? Like,
I'm trolling, but
bro, he never had a girl.
not publicly, but
She
shit.
would drink Scarlett Johansson's bathwater. though. You've seen those tweets.
Legendary tweet. Legendary tweet. I'm dead. All right, y'all know how we feel now about this shit.
2-1 Pacers.
Yes, sir.
Game 4 tomorrow in Indiana.
The shit should be up before that. So
Yeah. We'll see y'all next week. Who knows what the score is gonna be.
like, subscribe, leave a comment. How
We'll
do
see y'all on
feel
Game
about
7.
KD? Facts. Before Game 7?
Before Game 7.
Heard that.
I'm calling it.
Peace out, y'all.